what you think.
What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about former Purdue star Caleb Swanigan and why he has failed to make it in the NBA so far. If you love college basketball, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you love these type of videos, be sure to check out my playlist in the description below. Now let's get started with today's video. As a Purdue fan, this is a story I'm very familiar with and excited to tell you guys. Caleb Swanigan didn't have the same childhood most boys have while he was growing up in Indianapolis, Indiana. His father was addicted to cocaine, and his mother was left alone to raise 6 kids on her own. Because of that, Caleb was forced to move between Utah and Indianapolis all the time, and he was in a homeless shelter for a lot of the time. Caleb inherited 2 things from his dad: the height and the ability to gain weight. When he was in 8th grade, he weighed close to 360 pounds, and he was addicted to eating desserts or junk food. Because of his height and weight, his aunt nicknamed him Biggie, and it stuck. Thankfully, his brother was really worried about Caleb's weight, and arranged for him to move in with an AAU coach by the name of Roosevelt Barn. After rigorous workouts and dietary changes, Caleb slimmed down to 260 pounds, but his father passed away because of his weight. While at Homestead High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana, he led them to their first state title, and he decided to reclassify to the 2015 class. He originally committed to Michigan State, but he later decided to decommit and reopen his recruitment. Caleb wanted to bring a school in Indiana its first national title and play the 4 position in college. Luckily, Purdue had never won a title before, and he would be able to play at the 4 because there were already 2 7-footers on the roster, so he ended up deciding to become a Boilermaker. According to 24/7 Sports, Swanigan was a 5-star recruit, a McDonald's All-American, and the number 19 overall player in the class of 2015. Purdue was in their 11th season under head coach Matt Painter, and were expected to be really good in 2016. They returned to A.J. Hammonds, Isaac Haas, Vincent Edwards, and P.J. Thompson as they began the season ranked number 23 in the country. The Boilermakers started out the season 7-0, and Swanigan was the 3rd option on the team. They climbed all the way up to number 9 in the polls before a loss to Butler. They ended up finishing their non-conference slate with a 12-1 record, and Purdue was a good team. Purdue started out by winning 7 of their first 10 games, and they were looking really good. They ended up finishing 12-6 in Big Ten play, and Swanigan was hovering around double figures in almost every single game. After beating Illinois and Michigan in the Big Ten tournament, they lost to Michigan State in the championship game and finished with a 26-8 record going into the NCAA tournament. They became a number 5 seed and were set to play the number 12 seed Arkansas Little Rock in the first round. After leading the entire game, Little Rock made a miraculous comeback and brought the game to overtime. While in overtime, Purdue blew it and lost the game. Coach of the Trojans, his name was Chris Beard. Remember that name. On the year, Caleb averaged 10.2 points and 8.3 rebounds while shooting 46% from the field. Swanigan could have left for the NBA after his freshman year, but he likely would have gone in the 2nd round, so he decided to come back for his sophomore season. Going into his sophomore year, it was going to be Swanigan's team. The Boilermakers returned Vince Edwards, Isaac Haas, P.J. Thompson, and Dakota Mathias, while also bringing in Spike Albrecht and Carson Edwards. They began the season ranked number 15 in the country and got to play number 3 Villanova in their 2nd game. They lost that game in a close one, but after another loss to Louisville, they finished non-conference play at 11-2 and were ranked number 15 in the country. To this point, Swanigan was dominating and he had eclipsed 20 points in 6 of his first 13 games. They started out 6-2 in Big Ten play with losses to Iowa and Minnesota and wins over Wisconsin and Michigan State. After that, they finished their Big Ten slate at 8-2 with wins over Northwestern, Maryland, and Michigan State, again with losses to Michigan and Nebraska. During Big Ten play, Swanigan was absolutely dominant as he scored in double figures in every single conference game, and he was one of the best players in the country. They ended up going 14-4 and won the Big Ten regular season title. Their momentum didn't carry over to the Big Ten tournament as they lost in the first round to Michigan in overtime. They ended up becoming a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, and they went on to beat Vermont and Iowa State, but were getting blown out by Kansas in the Sweet 16. Because of his stellar play, he became part of the All-Big Ten first team and was named the Big Ten Player of the Year. On the year, he averaged 18.5 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 3 assists a night while shooting 53% from the field. Swanigan had a monster sophomore year, and if you projected his draft stock based off stats, you'd probably say he could be a top 10 pick. Sadly, he was never going to be a lottery pick, but he was still a good player. Scouts knew he was an excellent rebounder, passer, 3-point shooter, and finisher around the rim, but they were concerned about his athleticism, and he was prone to turning the ball over. Overall, they agreed he was a first-round talent and expected him to go in the mid to late first round. They were right as he was taken with the 26th overall pick by the Portland Trail Blazers, and after a brilliant Summer League performance, he was named to the Summer League first team. As a rookie, he played very minimally and spent a lot of time with the Canton Charge. He played 7 minutes a game and scored 2.3 points and 2 rebounds a night. His best game of the season was against the Rockets, where he scored 10 points in 18 minutes of play. In 2019, he only played in 18 games and only scored 1.9 points in 8 minutes a game. Needing a change of scenery, he was traded to the Kings in exchange for Skal Labissiere and spent all but 3 games with the Stockton Kings of the NBA G League. So far in 2019, he's only played in 5 games, and it doesn't look like he's going to be a part of the Kings' future plans. As of just a few weeks ago, Swanigan was traded back to the Portland Trail Blazers, where he is now. Overall, Caleb's story is truly inspiring, and he was a beast in college, but he's never going to be very successful in the NBA. He has struggled to shoot the ball, and his body has held him back. To be fair, he hasn't really got much of a shot in the NBA so far, but I think it's because he just isn't made for this era of NBA basketball. As a Purdue fan, I loved watching Caleb in college, and I truly do want him to succeed, but I just don't think it'll realistically happen. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure to hit that like button and check out all my other videos on both the screen and in the description below. I hope to see you guys again soon for my next video. Peace.